Okay, so I'm here at the Gentry Barbershop in Limerick in Ireland. I'm here with Pat Barry. Pat is a shop owner and advisor to pretty much on every aspect of barbering, a regulation lobbyist, a barbering trainer and the co-founder of the Lion Collective. Pat is also a barbering brand consultant. It's fair to say that Pat is well versed in every single aspect of barbering. In short, he's a big shot. And Larry the Barberman's definition of a big shot is a little shot who keeps shooting. Would that be a fair assumption of you, Pat?
That's a very, very nice assumption. Thank you, Larry.
You're welcome. So just a standard question, Pat. Tell me, where did you start in barbering and what was your inspiration and motivation to become a barber?
I'm a second generation barber, Larry. My dad was a barber, my two uncles were barbers, one of them is still a barber, Declan, that's where I did my trade. I was working there since I was 11 years of age. I did my trade there and worked there for a number of years, and then I moved on to a few different other shops, moved over to the UK and did a bit of work in the UK, came back then and I opened my own businesses back here in Ireland. So my inspiration for getting into barbering probably was the social aspect of it. I just found it a very, very socially good thing to get into, and it was something that I enjoyed.
Okay,
so
perfect. And when you're on the shop floor now, Pat, obviously with your busy schedule, what kind of hairstyles are you specialising in particular right now?
At the moment, there's a really, really different dynamic. We offer a really different dynamic here in the Gentry. We offer kind of fades, we offer kind of long hair. There's kind of a crossover between styles at the moment. What we feel is a lot of stuff is filtering over from the UK, and we're kind of going for that kind of curlier kind of look on top, kind of faded back and sides, quite low fades and stuff. So there's a different. It seems to be kind of a kind of a crossover of a lot of different styles that we've encountered in my 22 or 23 years experience. There seems to be different dynamics of different cuts, so they all seem to be filtering through now, you know.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about the interior of this shop, because you've got quite an interesting interior going on with the bookshelves and the chess set. And tell me, what was you thinking when you made the Gentry?
I think aesthetically, we were kind of looking for a real kind of a rustic look, and we're not quite finished. We're almost there, and we're kind of in the middle of refurb at the moment. But we were going kind of more for a rustic look. What we found was that there seemed to be a real kind of generic dynamic to an awful lot of kind of shops at the moment, so we just wanted to go for something just a little bit different.
Okay.
So, and I haven't read all the books, by the way, because I keep getting asked that question.
Indeed. And tell me, you're part of a think tank group that's campaigning to get some form of regulation going in the UK.
Yes.
How far would you say you are into the process, and how likely is it to happen?
We're behind this 100% because we feel that there needs to be a voice, there needs to be unity within the barbering world, and we feel that together we obviously have an awful lot more, kind of control if everyone gets together. So we had a think tank group set up. Adam Sloan and Anthony Copeland of MHFed and British Master Barbers invited me over to the UK 2 weeks ago today, and we sat and we discussed things with the British Barber Association, the Hair Council, and just so that we're all kind of focusing in on the same page.
Okay.
And it's something that I think our industry needs, because you look at other industries and they seem to have a voice, so we can kind of help improve and make the industry better for everybody.
Okay. And how far off do you think we are actually putting this in place, if it your way, and being realistic about where you are in the process right now?
Yeah, it's still at its infancy stage. There's still an awful lot of things to iron out. We're looking for feedback from everybody, because we feel there's no point in engaging only with 30 or 40% of the industry. We need everybody to be feeling it, and that's the only way we can bring this forward.
Okay. So taking off Pat Barry's lobbyist head and putting on Pat Barry's consultant head, you do work with BeGroomed. Tell me what BeGroomed is and what kind of consultancy work that you actually do for them.
BeGroomed is a company over in the UK, or over in the US, I'm sorry, that have that are running 3 big events this year. Chicago in July 9th and 10th. We have LA in September, and we have Miami in November. Basically, we want to engage a lot of the public within these events. They're going to be quite big. So what we're hoping to do is, Jason Nelson invited me with Christopher Burke to be a part of this consultancy group, where we all give our take and just kind of give our perspective of how we think the expo should be run.
Okay,
so,
okay.
And who to get involved. It's going to be very engaging for the public, because there's an awful lot of lifestyle product companies also available. So it won't just be barbering. So on the peripheral area of the expo is going to be product companies, and then within the actual epicenter, there's going to be education. There's going to be barber battles. There's going to be a lot of barbering companies marketing their products to the barber industry.
Okay.
So it's very exciting. Jason's a really, really cool guy, and I think it's going to be amazing events. He's picked 3 fantastic venues, so it's just something to really look forward to.
Watch this space if you can get
Absolutely.
on the flight.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's going to be fun.
Okay, perfect. And alongside Mr. Tom Chapman, in the last few interviews that I've done, your name keeps cropping up in association with the Lions Collective, because as
Yes.
I believe it, you're a co-founder of the Lions Collective. Tell me a little bit about the Lions Collective from your perspective, and what your role or your role is right now.
Yes, basically, this was born through social media, which I think social media has a fantastic role to play in our industry. It has its positives and negatives. Thankfully, the Lions Barber Collective was born from social media. So Tom and I hooked up with a barber, Paul Mack. We were just chatting on social media, and the concept came up, let's do a lookbook. And we were looking for a charity to do it for, and Paul Mack came up with the concept, let's do it for suicide awareness, because it was kind of creeping up to that time where it was Suicide Awareness Week. So obviously an awful lot of people have been affected by suicide. So we said, it was a fantastic awareness group that we could set up for that. So we engaged with an awful lot of, because of our network, we'd quite a very, very strong network within the UK and Ireland. We set up a group of 29, 30 barbers, all top industry people, and we invited them to be a part of this collective, and we kind of utilised the group to engage our message across to the general public. I think the collective collectively has a social media reach of nearly 500,000 people, which is a huge which is a huge voice. So we said, let's utilise that and do something good. So then we came up with the concept then of the Barber Talk program, which is it's a training program that we're going to initiate this year. It's in the process of being completed at the moment. So we're going to roll that out next year. Fully, we're going to have a few different pilots this year in a few different venues. We're hoping Exeter University have invited us to do the pilot there. So we're hoping to do a Barber Talk live tour, and that's where we're hoping to pilot it this year.
And what date would that be commencing, Pat?
There's nothing concrete yet, but we're hoping this side of the summer. We're hoping to do something this side of the summer, because we've had because of the engagement we've had from everybody. We're hoping to roll it out fairly quickly, but we want everything to be 100% before we roll it out. So we're obviously waiting for other people to get things 100% also. So
Okay. So charity starts at home. Tell me what you have in terms of your own products.
As in my
Yeah, products. Do you have any physical products, wet products?
Yeah, we're kind of at an in between stage at the moment. There's a very very good friend of mine in the UK and I are working on our own product range at the moment, but I'm actually not at liberty to say at the moment. So
Any clues, at least, Patrick?
any clues? It's just going to be it's going to be special because the individual is a really really cool guy.
Okay.
And he has an awful lot of respect in the industry, and we're hoping to have something that we can kind of release in the next 8 to 10 weeks. So,
Okay. Over and above your consultancy services you provide,
sure.
you're a trainer as well, I take it. Tell me what kind of training you provide in barbering.
Yeah, I've had my academy here since 2007, 2008. At one stage, I had 6 shops, and of all my team and all the staff that I'd employed, I trained all but 2, I think it was. I was using my academy to filter my own team and build my own team that way, which initially started. I still do some academy work, but I'm so busy with a lot of my stuff in the US and the UK, I haven't been able to focus in 100% in it. But I actually have an advanced course at the moment that are about to pass out in April, and I think that'll be my last work with the academy. I do a lot of workshops,
Okay.
so I'm over and back doing workshops in the UK and stuff like that as well. So,
And what could a barber typically expect if they went to a workshop, let's say?
basically, what I offer something slightly different. I kind of it's more of a kind of an advisory and a sharing knowledge than just the practicality of cutting hair. I believe that a lot of people that come to workshops are looking for something that might add a different dynamic to their business that they can actually upsell, whether it's social media marketing or the practicality of the actual cutting hair side of it. So it's just something that adds a different spice to what a lot of other people are doing.
Okay, perfect. And back to kind of regulations, you've got some involvement with the Irish Barbering Alliance.
Yes,
Tell me what that is.
basically Gary Devan and I saw a need for a little bit of a directive here in Ireland, and Gary Devan and I set up the Irish Barber Alliance, which at the moment we're kind of building the members. Our website was launched there going back about 6 to 8 weeks ago, so we have an awful lot of interest. Like the UK, there's a little bit of direction that I think is needed both in the UK and Ireland, and we're hoping that my experience in the UK from all the different associations, we can pick pieces of everything that worked with them and help harness it over here in Ireland and make our industry better and stronger over here, because we have an awful lot of talent in this country, so we're looking to see if we can kind of promote that talent here in Ireland.
Okay, talking about an awful lot of talent, you have an awful lot of experience. What would you say your one greatest moment in barbering's been?
It's an interesting question because for me, my clients are my biggest reward, and I just love getting the response from clients if you do a new style, or if you do a kind of a restyle or whatever. So for me, it's probably my day-to-day floor work. I've won numerous awards, but I think the awards really are kind of reflective of what you're doing on the floor, because for me, where it all happens is the floor. And I think a lot of younger barbers lose sight of looking for notoriety, but if you're doing things right on the floor, everything else will fall into place, you know.
Okay. And this same philosophy's got you a not film recording, like a TV
Yeah,
series.
we're working with a TV production company over in the US in New York. I came up with this concept called Barber Swap USA. It's similar to a Wife Swap USA, but there's going to be barbers. We've got a couple of really, really cool guys that are looking to swap. One is a really, really country barber, the other one is a really, really city barber. So they're going to live each other's lives for a week, and we have our production company following around, and it's just something just to whet the appetites of the public. We're looking. It's going to be very engaging because the stories that are told are very, very different, and we're looking to kind of shed a real different light in barbering. So the general public will see a different perspective. Miami Ink did it for, with Ami and Chris Nunez, Ami James, and they kind of brought a different light to tattooing. So we're just hoping that our TV show can do the same over in the US. Initially, we plan to do a Barber Swap UK also, and then we hope to do an international one. So that's the...
Watch this space.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, absolutely.
Okay, and if you had some sound advice for a young man starting out in the barbering career, what would that sound advice be to the young aspiring barber?
Just keep learning, because for me, the industry is an evolution always. And what I heard a great piece of advice from a guy, a barber. He was a barber of 60 years, and he still worked as a barber 1 day a week. And I said, would you not retire? And he said, basically that he loved it so much, he kept learning. He said even in the business 60 years, he was learning something new every day. And he says the day he stops learning is the day he'll give it up, he'll hang up the scissors. So for me, that was probably one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever heard from anybody, because it really kind of it epitomized what the industry is all about. It's about an evolution, and you keep learning all the time. And it's you might just even with workshops, you mightn't learn a whole pile, but you might pick up that one thing that you can bring with you, particularly those that are very, very experienced within the industry, So
Pat, thank you very much for that interview.
My pleasure.
I wish you every success in your numerous projects and products and so forth.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Larry. My pleasure.